Our exploration into metaphilosophy will cover 6 areas: philosophy, history, the major divisions of philosophy, the idea of truth, logic, and argumentation. In this segment of the presentation, I would like to begin with the idea of philosophy. Just what is this word philosophy? The word is a Greek term which means love of wisdom. Philo, love; Sophia, wisdom. It's often used to embrace the study of very complex or very deep questions. For example, what is life? Does God exist? Do we have free will? Is there such a thing as objective beauty? Okay, philosophy deals with the big questions. Okay, but philosophy also deals with the simple questions. It's not just the big one, but the big and the small. Philosophy indeed deals with knowledge at its ultimate limit. We describe philosophy as love of wisdom. What exactly does the word wisdom mean? Much scholarship has been devoted to trying to articulate what this means. My working definition of this concept is to call it love of wisdom. That is to call wisdom infallible knowledge. It's a type of knowledge which is infallible. That means it cannot be wrong. The word fallibility means you could take it through experience, it'll turn out to be correct. The ancients view wisdom as reliable, useful knowledge. They were attempting to discover guidance for human existence that didn't depend on the myths of the gods or kings that were not quite clear where they were going themselves. Another concept that kind of bring the idea of wisdom to the forefront is the idea of conceit. Conceit is to accept something as true without any kind of justification or defense. For example, if a person has the conceit of self, he or she may think, for example, that he or she is the best golfer there is because he or she has been to play golf once or twice. So now with this concept, the best golfer there is, no matter what happened, goes out and plays and misses all the holes, he'll still hold, I'm the best. Something was wrong with the field. That's called personal conceit. There's another version of conceit, that conceit of knowledge. A person may take themselves to know things and have no proof for it. A conceited person sounds exactly the way we are describing a wise person. Wisdom is like that. You have knowledge that's infallible. However, a key word is infallible. It cannot prove to be false. A conceited person has a belief in something that is true and believe it's knowledge, but it is fallible, although he or she may not accept it. Another concept that is very closely related is the philosopher, him or herself. What is a philosopher? Who can be a philosopher? Actually, the second part is easy to answer. Anyone can be a philosopher if they apply themselves. An ideal, an archetypical philosopher, I would describe as one who seeks out infallible knowledge, to know things that are very, very certain. Another aspect of philosopher, or those who philosophize, is that they are intellectually autonomous, which means for every idea and every belief they hold to be true, they seek out, in time, justification for that belief. Nothing stands in the mind of a philosopher that is not defended sooner or later. Another aspect of understanding philosophers is that they are extremely objective. That is, something is true not because they say so, not because it was just they thought about it. It's because the evidence that they have looked at suggests that it's true. So a typical philosopher, a real philosopher, enjoys the opportunity to share his or her ideas with others so that they can look and evaluate for themselves whether or not what they have discovered happens to be the correct conclusion given the evidence before them. So in this segment, we looked at the idea of philosophy, level of wisdom. We looked at the idea of wisdom itself. We described it primarily as infallible knowledge, or the inverse of conceit. And we also looked at the idea of the philosopher.